Imagine this, it's the middle of July, the sun is blazing, the air is heavy, and the heat feels like it's squeezing every drop of life out of the land. Across much of the country, crops are wilting, farmers are watching their fields dry up despite powerful irrigation systems and high-tech equipment, but somewhere in rural Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Indiana, the story looks completely different. Amish farms, without a single electric pump, air-conditioned greenhouse, or modern gadget, are bursting with green, healthy crops. Rows of vegetables stand tall and lush, fruit plants are heavy with produce, and the soil still holds moisture. No fans, no sprinklers, no computers telling them when to water. How do they do it? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the timeless methods the Amish have used for generations to protect their crops from the punishing summer sun. You'll discover the secret planting schedules, natural cooling techniques, and water-saving methods that not only survive extreme heat, they thrive in it. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why their crops beat the heat, and how you can borrow their wisdom for your own garden. One of the key ways the Amish beat the summer heat is by planting crops according to natural signs, not just a calendar date. They watch the environment closely, noticing when certain trees begin to bud, when specific birds migrate, and how the soil feels beneath their feet. These subtle signals tell them when the land is ready. Rather than planting all at once, many Amish families stagger their planting schedules. This method ensures not all plants mature during the peak heat. Some are harvested before the hottest days, while others are timed to grow after the worst of the sun's intensity has passed. This staggered approach greatly reduces heat stress on the crops and helps maintain a steady flow of produce throughout the summer. Planting in tune with nature also allows the Amish to avoid rushing their crops with chemical fertilizers or growth enhancers. They rely on patience and timing, trusting that their crops will thrive if given the right conditions. Unlike many modern farms that use plastic covers or artificial shading, the Amish prefer natural solutions. Tall plants, such as corn, are strategically planted on the west side of more sensitive crops to provide shade during the hottest part of the afternoon. This natural shade reduces direct sun exposure and keeps plants cooler. Additionally, the Amish plant rows of trees and tall shrubs to act as windbreaks. These living barriers protect fields from dry, hot winds that can quickly dry out soil and damage plants. Windbreaks not only help retain moisture, but also create microclimates, small areas with slightly cooler temperatures and higher humidity than open fields. This microclimate effect is crucial in helping crops survive prolonged heat spells. Trees also improve soil health by preventing erosion and increasing organic matter through falling leaves and roots. This interconnected system showcases how the Amish integrate different plants to support each other. Conditions. On many commercial farms, maximizing space often means planting crops tightly packed. While this might increase short-term yield, it can lead to problems like poor airflow, higher heat retention, and more disease. The Amish understand that proper spacing is vital for plant health, especially in hot weather. They space plants far enough apart to allow fresh air to circulate around each one. This airflow helps cool the plants and soil, reducing humidity that can lead to fungal diseases. It also prevents the plants from competing with each other for water and nutrients, which is especially important during dry, hot summers when resources are scarce. The careful spacing also allows sunlight to reach each plant without overheating them. The balance between enough sun and enough shade is a delicate art the Amish have perfected over generations. Soil is a heat shield for the Amish. Soil is far more than just dirt. It is a living, breathing ecosystem. Healthy soil regulates temperature and retains moisture, protecting plant roots from the intense summer heat. To maintain soil vitality, the Amish regularly add organic matter, such as compost from kitchen scraps, manure from their livestock, and plant residues from previous harvests. This organic matter improves soil structure, increasing its ability to hold water and nutrients. A well-nourished soil acts as a natural heat shield, keeping roots cool and moist even during heat waves. Unlike bare soil, which can quickly dry out and become hard, healthy soil retains moisture longer and provides a stable environment for plants to thrive. They also avoid heavy tilling that can disrupt soil life and increase erosion. Instead, minimal disturbance preserves beneficial microbes and earthworms that contribute to soil fertility. Respecting the rhythm of nature. Perhaps the Amish's greatest strength is their respect for natural cycles. They do not rush growth with artificial means, but allow crops to follow their own pace. This respect extends to crop rotation, a practice where different crops are planted in a field each year to prevent soil depletion and reduce pests. This rotation keeps the soil fertile and healthy, preventing the buildup of harmful insects and diseases that target specific plants. It also helps maintain balanced nutrients in the soil, reducing the need for chemical fertilizers. By working within nature's limits rather than against them, the Amish ensure that their farming methods can be sustained over many generations. Way of life. Not just a technique to an outsider, Amish farming methods might seem outdated or slow. But for the Amish, farming is more than a job, it's a way of life. Efficiency isn't measured by speed or maximum output, but by the health of the land, the sustainability of the community, and the preservation of traditions. When the summer sun beats down relentlessly, their holistic, low-tech methods prove incredibly resilient. Rather than fighting nature, the Amish work with it. Their fields remain green and productive, even when many modern farms falter under the heat. This approach teaches us that sometimes the simplest, most natural solutions are the strongest and most sustainable. Water is the lifeblood of any farm, but managing it wisely becomes especially critical during hot, dry summers. The Amish have perfected a set of practical, low-tech water management techniques that help their crops survive and thrive, all without expensive modern irrigation systems. Their methods are simple, effective, and based on close observation of nature. Rainwater harvesting, making the most of every drop. Of the Amish's most important water-saving techniques is rainwater harvesting. Rather than relying solely on wells or municipal water, they collect and store rainwater whenever possible. The Amish use gutters on their barn roofs to channel rainwater in 2 large barrels or cisterns. This harvested water is then used during dry spells, especially for young plants that need consistent moisture. Collecting rainwater not only conserves resources, but also provides softer water. Rainwater is free of the chemicals and salts often found in groundwater or tap water, which can harm sensitive plants. By storing rainwater, the Amish are prepared for droughts and periods of low rainfall. This method shows how thinking ahead and working with natural cycles can reduce reliance on external water sources. Morning and evening irrigation. Another key part of Amish water management is watering crops at the right times of day. They know from experience that watering during the hottest midday hours wastes water through evaporation and can even harm plants. Instead, irrigation is done early in the morning or late in the evening when temperatures are cooler. This ensures that more water soaks into the soil and reaches the roots, rather than evaporating quickly in the sun. Morning watering also helps reduce fungal diseases by allowing leaves to dry throughout the day. Evening watering keeps the soil moist overnight, helping plants prepare for the heat ahead. These simple timing adjustments greatly improve water efficiency and plant health. Strategic plant spacing to minimize evaporation. Just like in their planting methods, the Amish carefully space their crops to reduce water loss. When plants are too crowded, soil between them dries out faster because sunlight hits the ground directly, and there is less shade. By spacing plants thoughtfully, they create small shaded areas that help keep soil moist longer. This shading effect reduces evaporation, so the water that has been applied stays in the ground where it's needed. Good spacing also promotes better airflow, which cools the plants and soil, further reducing stress and water demand. This balance between spacing and shade is a subtle but powerful tool in conserving water on the farm. Mulching. Nature's moisture blanket. Amish also use mulch extensively as a natural way to conserve soil moisture. Mulch can be straw, leaves, grass clippings, or even wood chips spread around the base of plants. This mulch layer acts like a blanket, protecting the soil from the sun's direct heat and slowing down evaporation. It also suppresses weed growth, which would otherwise compete with crops for water. Mulching not only conserves moisture, but also improves soil health by gradually breaking down and adding organic matter. The Amish understand that keeping soil covered is key to long-term water retention and plant vitality. Contour farming and swales. In areas with sloping land, the Amish use contour farming, planting rows along the natural curves of the land rather than straight up and down a slope. This method slows down water runoff during rains, giving the soil more time to absorb moisture and reducing erosion. They also dig small channels, called swales, along contour lines to capture and direct rainwater into fields instead of letting it wash away. These swales act like mini reservoirs, holding water close to plants and increasing the soil's ability to retain moisture during dry periods. Contour farming and swales showcase the Amish's understanding of how landscape shape affects water flow and how subtle earthworks can make a big difference. Using deep-rooted plants as water sponges, the Amish often plant deep-rooted crops that can reach moisture far below the surface, where shallow-rooted plants cannot. These deep-rooted plants act like water sponges, pulling moisture up and sometimes sharing it with nearby crops. Cover crops, such as clover or alfalfa, are used not only to fix nitrogen in the soil, but also to improve soil structure and water infiltration. Healthy soil full of organic matter can absorb and hold more water, functioning almost like a sponge itself. By nurturing soil health and plant diversity, the Amish create a self-sustaining system that makes water go further. Hand watering and slow-soaking techniques. While many farms rely on sprinkler systems, the Amish often use hand watering or slow-soaking methods, especially for delicate or young plants. Slow soaking involves applying water gradually and directly to the root zone using simple hoses or watering cans. This method minimizes runoff and evaporation and ensures water reaches where plants need it most. Hand watering also allows farmers to inspect their plants closely, catching problems early and adjusting watering as needed. This personal attention is part of the Amish farming ethos, caring for plants as individuals, not just as numbers. Community knowledge sharing and constant observation. Water management in Amish communities is also about sharing knowledge and learning from experience. Families discuss what works and what doesn't, adapting methods each year based on weather patterns and crop responses. Observation is continuous. Farmers watch the soil, the plants, the weather, and even animal behavior to decide when and how to water. This deep connection helps them use water wisely, avoiding waste and improving resilience against drought. Practical takeaways for viewers: start collecting rainwater. Use barrels to save rainwater from your roof and use it during dry periods. Water early or late. Avoid watering during midday heat to reduce evaporation and disease risk. Space your plants. Give them enough room to create shade and allow airflow. Use mulch. Cover soil with organic material to keep it moist and healthy. Observe your land. Understand how water moves and use techniques like contour planting. If you have slopes, choose deep-rooted plants. They help improve soil moisture access. Consider slow watering. Apply water gradually to roots to avoid waste. Learn from experience. Watch how your plants respond and adapt your watering habits accordingly. During the intense heat of summer, one of the biggest threats to healthy crops is soil overheating. When the soil becomes too hot, plant roots struggle to absorb water and nutrients, which can stunt growth or even kill the plants. The Amish, with their deep understanding of natural farming, use smart, low-tech strategies to keep their soil cool and moist, helping their crops survive and thrive even under harsh conditions. Mulching with natural materials. Mulching is one of the most effective and accessible methods the Amish use to protect soil from the scorching sun. Instead of relying on plastic or synthetic covers, they use natural materials readily available around their farms like straw, dried leaves, grass clippings, wood chips, or even shredded bark. This thick layer of mulch acts like a protective blanket, shielding the soil surface from direct sunlight and heat. By doing so, it can reduce soil temperature by several degrees, which makes a huge difference for plant roots below the surface. Mulch also plays a crucial role in moisture retention. It prevents the sun and hot winds from evaporating water too quickly. This means the soil stays damp longer, reducing the need for constant watering. For Amish farmers who avoid modern irrigation machines, this water-saving aspect is vital during long dry spells, beyond temperature and moisture control. Mulch improves soil health over time. As the organic materials break down, they enrich the soil with nutrients, encouraging beneficial soil organisms like earthworms and microbes. These organisms help maintain soil structure and fertility, creating a more resilient environment for plants. The Amish typically collect their mulch materials themselves. Straw left over from harvested grains, fallen leaves from orchards, and grass clippings from hayfields all become part of the mulch cycle, making this an affordable and sustainable practice. Companion planting for natural shade. Companion planting is a clever technique the Amish use to protect their crops from excessive heat by creating natural shade right in the fields. They strategically plant tall, sturdy crops like corn, sunflowers, or sorghum alongside more delicate, heat-sensitive plants such as tomatoes, peppers, or beans. These tall plants act as living umbrellas, casting shadows over the soil and nearby plants during the hottest parts of the day. This shading effect lowers soil temperature and reduces water evaporation from the soil surface. The cooler microclimate beneath the taller plants protects the roots of the smaller plants, helping them avoid heat stress and dehydration. For example, in many Amish gardens, you'll find rows of tall corn bordering patches of tomatoes or beans. The afternoon sun is intense in summer, but the corn leaves shelter the soil and crops beneath, creating a natural and energy-free cooling system. Companion planting also boosts biodiversity, which helps reduce pests and diseases naturally. Another reason the Amish prefer this method over chemical interventions. But from the perspective of soil cooling, the shading effect is the key benefit. Soil moisture traps to hold water. Another important way the Amish keep soil cool is by trapping moisture close to plant roots and preventing rapid evaporation. One common technique is to shape the soil surface around plants into small basins or shallow depressions. These tiny water catchments collect rainfall or irrigation water and allow it to slowly seep into the soil instead of running off. This ensures plants have a steady supply of moisture during dry spells. In addition to basins, the Amish make the soil surface rough and uneven. This roughness slows down drying winds that can quickly evaporate water from the soil. Even slight depressions or ridges disrupt airflow at ground level, helping the soil retain moisture longer. The health of the soil itself is crucial for moisture retention. Amish farmers add generous amounts of compost and organic matter to their soil each season. These materials act like a sponge, increasing the soil's ability to absorb and hold water. Healthy, organic rich soil with good structure doesn't just hold more water, it also stays cooler. Moist soil has a natural cooling effect because evaporation happens more slowly, preventing the soil from overheating. By combining mulching, companion planting, and moisture traps, the Amish create a balanced microenvironment. In their fields, this microenvironment protects soil from extreme temperature swings and keeps plants well hydrated, even during the hottest months. And that wraps up our deep dive into how Amish crops beat the summer sun without relying on any modern technology. From their careful timing of planting, natural shade techniques, and clever water management to keeping their soil cool and healthy, it's clear that the Amish way is more than just farming. It's a thoughtful lifestyle built on patience, respect for nature, and a strong sense of community. Their age-old wisdom shows us that sustainable farming doesn't have to mean complicated gadgets or expensive tools. Sometimes, the simplest methods, handed down through generations, can teach us the most about resilience and harmony with the environment. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with friends who might also want to learn these timeless gardening secrets. And if you're new here, subscribe and click the bell icon so you won't miss any upcoming videos where we explore more fascinating ways of living and farming naturally. Also, check out our next video where we dive into Amish building techniques that keep homes cool in the heat, all without electricity. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes going back to basics is the best way forward. See you in the next video.